Yo, what is going on, everybody? It's your boy Marshall live, and I am live, you guys. TGIF. The grind includes Friday. Yes, you guys, it is Friday. I'm sorry, I'm super excited today. I just it has nothing to do with Friday. I do love Fridays, but I've been super blessed that over the last 4 years, the day on the calendar does not matter to me because I work for myself. And that's been pretty cool. But today in this short video, I just wanted to make a video today because I watched Cobra Kai yesterday for the first time ever. Is it the best show on TV? I don't know, potentially, but that's what we're going to find out right now today. Hey, if you guys are tuning into this, whether it's live or on replay, do me a favor. You guys know that I'm a transformational storyteller. I travel the world. I fuck things up. I make mistakes. And then I go live and I go, yo, I made these mistakes. Don't make them. Here's what you can learn. So if you guys are into things like personal development, transformation, business mastery, make sure you hit subscribe, turn on the bell, and get notifications for when I go live or post videos, because there's lessons all around us. Like, not to sound like your old high school teacher, but there's lessons all around us. Some people will look at me over the last 4 years and the money I've made, the travel I've had, the freedom I've created, all the cool things I get to do. And they're like, bro, like, I wish I could do that. Like, I wish I could do that, but, right? And there's always like some limitation, but, or there's an excuse for why they can't create it. And for some reason, man, it really bums me out. Like, it really bums me out. And this is what I mean. When my life, if anybody looks at me and they think that I've had more success than they have, I promise you, it's not because I'm smarter than you. It's not because I'm better than you. It's not because I have a dick. It's not because I'm like nothing. Like, the only reason that I've made it or had more success than somebody who hasn't is because I've lost more times than you have. It's because I've failed more times than you have. I'm telling you, if you want to double your rate of success, you have to triple your rate of failure. Ooh. I'm going to say that again. If you want to double your rate of success, you've got to triple your rate of failure. Now, here's what I mean. It's like every single thing in my life when I was younger, I would do. And you guys know a little bit of my backstory. I'll be 36 in October. Go ahead, send me Lafroig. I love bottles of Lafroig. I love Oreos. I love Cheetos. If you guys find any 9mm ammo, I just picked this up this morning. I'm so fucking stoked. It's impossible to find 9mm anywhere. And I finally been stopping into one of the ammo stores. They opened up at 7:30 this morning. So if you have 9mm cal, definitely send them to me, 9mm. Anyways, but the only reason that I've been able to have more is because I fucking, at the age of 36, is because I failed more. And in the beginning of my life, because of the trauma I went through, because of how I was raised, because of the decisions I made, because of how I was raised, I really got myself into a lot of shitty situations and a lot of things that didn't bring me what I wanted, a lot of things that brought me terrible feelings, terrible thoughts. And because I was having terrible thoughts and terrible feelings, and because I didn't have anybody around to help teach me a different way, show me a different blueprint, because I had no mentors, those shitty feelings and shitty thoughts turned into shitty actions, right? You guys know I tried to kill myself when I was 23. After that, I dealt with many years of addiction, destruction. I lost my very best friend who killed himself some years later. I never even told him. Like, even when he was going through his shit, I never even told him what I was going through. I never told him that I had tried to kill him. Like, when Dustin died, he had no idea that that's what I had gone through too. Like, he had no idea. And he was my best friend. Like, I had ample amount of time to tell Dustin about, what I went through, what it's like. He even called me and I had an opportunity to get on the phone with him and talk to him. This is like 6 years ago, but I didn't. And then a month later, he kills himself. And that's how this whole thing started. And kind of, that's what Cobra Kai kind of made me relate to, kind of think about, because the reason that I've been able to change my life is when Dustin passed away, that gave me an opportunity to act as a catalyst, to act as something hard, to act as something to push back against. It became a catalyst for me to realize that there's lessons all around us, right? In my beginning of my life, I failed all the time, but because I looked at myself as a failure and I looked at everything I did as a failure. Oh, that went wrong, it's a failure. Oh, did that wrong, it's a failure. When Dustin passed away, I was so tired. I was so tired of just being hopeless. I was so tired of getting it wrong. I was so tired of fighting and pushing and pulling and just God, doing everything. And I would literally, even at night, I'd be like, I don't understand. I'm a good person. I'm doing all the right things. I'm doing everything I'm supposed to. I don't understand why. But it was in those moments of hopelessness, of helplessness, that my addictions would turn to compulsions and weakness, and then those would manifest into destruction. And so when I'm watching Cobra Kai, for those of you guys who don't know what Cobra Kai is, and look, I'm a certain age, right? Like I'm a certain age, and I think that you may have to fall into a certain age group to really love Cobra Kai the way that I love Cobra Kai. But I've been hearing about Cobra Kai for the last couple of years. I'm like, whatever. I don't care about karate. I don't really watch a lot of TV. And then yesterday, my roommate, my best friend, was like, dude, you never seen Cobra Kai? Like, yada, yada, yada. And he starts telling me a little bit about the backstory, okay, which I had no idea about. So Cobra Kai, for those of you who have never seen it, it's a TV show. It's on Netflix is where I'm watching it. But it's a spawn off of the old movie, The Karate Kid, okay? I mean, The Karate Kid was a dope-ass movie. Mr. Miyagi, wax on, wax off, wax on, right? And so if you guys don't know the story of The Karate Kid, what happens is a kid named Daniel and his mom, they moved to LA. They moved to the Valley from New Jersey. And when Daniel shows up there, like picture the typical, I don't know if you guys have ever been a teenager and had to move schools. I've done it twice. It's the fucking worst when you're starting a new school. High school is awful. I was like a popular kid and a standout jock, class president, homecoming king, all that shit. And it was the worst. It was the worst experience. I would go back through losing Dustin before I would go back through high school. And I mean that, man. Like losing Dustin was painful. The last year and a half of my life has been very painful. But I'm telling you, man, there's nothing like high school. I mean, that shit fucked me up. And if you're watching this and you are in your late 20s or 30s, and you don't even have to be that, I mean, you could be 20. I mean, I tried to kill myself when I was 23. So I know that transition from after high school to college to right to early adulthood. Like if you're, I don't really have a lot of young people watching the show, but if you're a younger person or if you're a parent who has a kid that's that age, like first off, it's normal for us to feel really scary thoughts at that age because we are coming and going in so many different ways. Like we don't know what to feel. And most of us, not because it's our parents' fault, but most of us, our parents didn't know what they didn't know either. And so most of us were raised by parents who couldn't help us articulate our feelings, who couldn't help us get in touch with them. And we didn't have a blueprint to watch them. When we grew up in households, most of our parents are divorced. More than half of us have parents that come from our parents are divorced. A lot of us were raised by single moms. And not to get too off on numbers in politics, because I want to stick on Cobra Kai and what I learned and what you guys can learn from transforming your life. But I'm going somewhere with high school and as it applies to Daniel in The Karate Kid moving to LA. And so, a lot of us studies show that most, let's just call them statistics for now, of any race, right? Jails, college dropouts, not going to college, murder, drug addiction, alcohol addiction, those numbers are all significantly spiked in homes with one parent where the kids grew up without a dad. Okay. So for me, I grew up without a dad to a certain point, but then when I was 4, my mom got remarried to my stepdad, but my stepdad was a monster, not because he wanted to be, but because he was never loved and the little boy in him never healed. But my stepdad, growing up on the farm, it was just him and I all day, and he would work me like a grown man, and he would remind me every single thing I did that I was stupid or wrong or that I was a worthless piece of shit. Actually, his favorite slogan was, "You're as worthless as tits on a boar." If you guys don't know what a boar is, it's a male pig it's a boy pig. So and they do have little nipples, just like guys have nipples. And so his favorite thing, "You're as worthless as tits on a boar. You're so goddamn unobservant." Anyways, so just know if you're a parent or if you're a kid right now, if you're having bad thoughts, like first off, you're not alone. Just know nobody else is talking to you about it. One, and even if you're an adult, but especially as adults who have kids, you guys, this is the time when kids are the most impressionable, is when they're in high school, right? When they're right in that high school area, when they're just leaving college, going into the real world, or especially if they did graduate college around 22, 23, and now they're moving into the real world. There's a lot of things that we're not taught. that really fuck us up in our head. And so for me, high school was a struggle. And the people who weren't popular and weren't the jock in the stand, all those things, they look at me and they go, how could your fucking life been hard? I was like they're saying, I was bullied, I was picked on, I would come home, I didn't have any parents, there was never food in the fridge. Like, I get it. And I'm not here to compare problems because that would be silly. Like, God gave us our own individual story to use to turn that mess into our message. And so what you've got to realize is that you were given that mess to overcome, so you can use that as a message to empower the people who used to be like you. I didn't know any of this until a couple of years ago. And so when I think of high school, I'm like, fuck that. Like, I would never do that again. But I think at the time I watched The Karate Kid many, decades ago, right? Daniel and his mom moved from New York to LA. And when he gets to the new school, there's already the popular kids. There's already the cliques and all the things. And so Daniel gets there and there's this big, pretty looking, but tough motherfucking blonde haired kid. And he does karate. And so that's the bully in the movie, Johnny Lawrence, and he's the young kid who's picks on everybody, and he fights for a karate dojo called Cobra Kai. Now, in the movie The Karate Kid, the Cobra Kai is ran by the bad guy, which is a sensei, right, the teacher, and he's just pushing the kids and really, really mean and angry to them. And so in The Karate Kid, Cobra Kai is the bad guys, and Daniel moves into an apartment complex where the maintenance guy is this old Chinese man, Mr. Miyagi, and he finally decides to teach Daniel karate. And then Daniel stands up to his bullies at school, and then they say, let's do it at the annual Valley Karate Champion. And so Daniel and Johnny Lawrence, they fight in the championship of that thing. And Johnny's like kind of really beating his ass. Johnny Lawrence is bigger, stronger, faster. And the Cobra Kai trainer, the sensei, is like kind of having them fight dirty. In the end of the movie, if you haven't seen Karate Kid by now, spoiler alert, sorry, it came out like 25 years ago. Daniel gets a legal kick done to him. He gets up, and it's just little kids, right? And it's the famous scene where his leg is all crumbled, and he lifts it. I know you guys can't see him. He lifts his leg up, and Johnny Lawrence comes in to deliver the punch, and Daniel, kicks him right in his face and knocks him out, right? Knocks him out. And in the movie, you're stoked because it's the Karate Kid, Mr. Miyagi, it's Daniel, yeah. And that's it. So Cobra Kai, the new TV show, I think it's the third season's about to come out. I was just watching season 1 yesterday. It opens up the pilot episode with that scene of Johnny getting kicked in the face and falling to the mat when he's a young kid, and it pans in on him, and then it pans out, and he's a grown-ass man laying on his bed all hungover with beer cans and empty food wrappers and shit next to him. And the storyline basically is that Johnny was never able to get past the mental and emotional strife and trauma that was created in that moment. And so now all these years later as an adult, he's still stuck there. Now, look, if you're listening to this right now or watching this, first off, thank you so much. Like, what are we even fucking talking about? Like, who am I for you guys to even tune in and listen to? Like, I just want you to know, thank you. It truly does mean the world to me because God is calling me. I don't think of these messages. They just come to me. It's like God is working through me. I'm a conduit for transformation. And so for those of you who are with me right now in the beginning, it means the world to me. It really, truly does. It's the support that I've needed and looked for. And I know a lot of you guys are wanting that as well. And so first off, thank you. Second is if you're watching this right now and maybe you're feeling stuck somewhere in your life, like maybe somewhere in your life because of something that happened in the past, maybe it was a year ago, maybe it was 3 years, 5 years ago, maybe it was back in high school, but maybe because of something else in your past, you haven't been able to get over. Okay. The reason that Cobra Kai, the TV show now, hit me so hard yesterday, and I was crying. I've cried multiple episodes of Cobra Kai, just so you know. And I'm going to tell you why. And I'm not like, maybe you're into the show, maybe you're not, but the lessons that we're getting, look, my coach in football used to call them teaching points. This is a teaching point. It's never a failure. It's never a loss. It's a teaching point. Everybody take a knee, gentlemen. Teaching point. That's what he would tell us. Shout out to Coach Gomer. And a fuck you to Coach King. I don't know why you'd ever see this, but fuck him. Anyways, those were teaching points. And so for me, what I learned as I continue to make these failures, right, and like these adults, is that you can get better or you can be bitter, but you can't be both. You can have results or you can have excuses, but you can't have both. And so in the beginning of that movie, Johnny is laying on the ground because he was never able to get past the mental and emotional trauma that he went through as a child. Now, maybe some of you are feeling stuck somewhere in your life, your relationship, your business, making money. I mean, shit, you guys, I launched a business, top paid speaker. I built it into a multiple six-figure business in just under 2 years, traveling the world, hundreds of video testimonials of people saying that transformed their life, to transform their business, taking people from no dollars to 60 grand, like whatever, all these crazy things. And even with all of that, I couldn't keep it on the rails. I got it in the air, but I couldn't land it. That's why in 2019, I crashed and burned. I had to shut down my business. I had to go offline. I went a little crazy. You guys saw me all over the place the last year and a half. And it's because of my past. Even though Johnny Lawrence was a karate champion, he won more than he lost. But that one loss to Daniel fucked him up, and he was never able to look at all the good things because he was only focused on that one loss, that one kick to the face. Now, all these years later, here he is, this alcoholic fucking loser living in a gross apartment, shitty job that he gets fired from right from the beginning. Like, it's madness. And the thing of it is that a lot of us are living our lives like that still right now today. In some, you may have a lot of money, but you don't have a good relationship with your wife. You may have a good relationship with your wife, but your business is tanking, or your health sucks, or your kids don't know you, or insert whatever here. Now, I'm not saying that women don't do this as well, but I definitely know as a man, and especially men like me, when one thing in our life isn't working that good, what do? Well, we'll just try harder over here. I'll just build a bigger business. I'll make more money. Yeah, my wife doesn't want to touch me because I'm fat and gross and I'm always never present, but that's okay. I'll just keep working harder because if I can make more money, take some more trips, give her more stuff, right? And so as a man, we're doing this often, where we're trying to overcompensate. And the one thing we're good at, because we don't know how to face the things that we're not good at. And so that's the underlying story for Johnny Lawrence in Cobra Kai. Longer story, what happens in the first couple episodes is he's getting shit on left and right. Daniel is also in Cobra Kai, but he's in a very, very rich and successful car salesman in the Valley. So every day Johnny wakes up with his shitty life. He sees the billboard of fucking Daniel all over it. Daniel, his gimmick for the car salesmanship is like karate shit. We kick the competition in the face, right? And so the whole thing is kind of funny. And Johnny Lawrence was an asshole in Karate Kid. The kid was an asshole. The character was an asshole in Karate Kid. And he's still kind of an asshole in the movie, which are in the show, which is funny. It's endearing because you're actually on his side now, but it's endearing. And as the show progresses, what you start to see is that really Daniel and Johnny are one and the same person. It's just the bad and the good in all of us. And so when I was watching the show, what it's about is Johnny reopens the Cobra Kai dojo, and he gets his first student who's getting picked on and bullied. And all of a sudden, this kid at school finally goes back to school, and he beats the hell out of like these 5 bullies. I mean, like straight Bruce Lee, Jet Li, like fucking ninja shit, right? In the cafeteria. And it's everybody's recording it on their phone, yada, yada, yada. And then, the next scene is like all the dorks and all the losers and all the, not cool kids are showing up at the dojo because they want to learn karate. And so what happens is Johnny Lawrence comes out, and he's just so hard on the kids. I mean, he's just the first two classes, he's just, he's really just making fun of these, ripping them. I mean, just terrible, terrible things. Now, I don't know how long it's been since you guys have been to high school, but I know that you guys remember that kids are fucking mean to each other. When I was in high school, my junior year, I started a program called BLIND. It stood for Building Lasting Impressions That Never Die. And so I came up with a name, and a group of us, we started this thing with some of our counselors from adjoining high schools in the area. And our goal was to break through stereotypes so we could break down bullying. The one thing about me is, even though I was a popular kid, I grew up a dork. I grew up on the farm. And so I relate to one of the characters. So Daniel, the rich guy, has a daughter who's in high school, and she's pretty. And she has been hanging out with all the mean girls, all the pretty, mean, popular girls. And she's left her old friend behind. And her old friend's this big, overweight, African chick, short, curly hair, and she gets picked on. And so I felt like that in high school. And I don't know if you guys watching this have felt like that before, but in high school, I was pulled away from all my farm kids, the kids I used to stay at the night at their house. We'd play 4-H softball. We grew up on the farm together. But as soon as I got to high school, for some reason, I had to be with the popular kids. And so I disowned all of them. And so again, I don't even like karate, but the reason that this show is so interesting to me is because the archetypes of all the people that I am are all the different characters in this show. And it's all built around feeling unworthy and working through these past limitations. You know, Daniel thinks that he's overcome everything. He's this rich guy. He's very successful. He's very happy every day. But you throw a little grain of sand into his identity, and all of a sudden he's all fucked up too now. So it's a very interesting concept, because I'm watching Cobra Kai. There's young love. There's loss. There's death. There's anger, rage. There's happiness. There's enlightenment. I mean, there's so many moving storylines. I mean, Johnny Lawrence has a son who he hasn't talked to in ever. And he's like a bad kid in high school. He's doing all the bad things. And he gets a job at Daniel's car dealership just to piss off his dad. And then now he's ended up getting mentored by Daniel. And so there's just so many moving parts. And the reason that I'm saying this, you guys, is because I want you to stay highly aware of what it is you're experiencing in life. A lot of us want to get real mad or angry or sad or depressed when things look like they're not going our way. But the reality of it is the universe is going to continue to give you the same test over and over until you learn it. God is literally going to keep pushing reset on the simulation until you pass the stage. Like if you've ever played Mario Brothers or any video game, Sonic, or I don't know, I'm old. But if you've ever played like any video games, you know how it goes. Shit. And in Mario, you guys know the drill. Mom would tell you to go to bed. We didn't turn off the game console. We just turn off the TV and let the game console go, right? Because what happens? Oh, I don't want to go backwards. I don't want to start from the beginning again. I don't want to have to pay. I'm already on stage, whatever. I've never been this far, right? And you're almost giddy about it. Yet as an adult, why do we lose that giddiness for our desire to beat each stage? Every single night you guys go to bed fucking pushing the power button off. You're like, fuck it. And over time, it just becomes perpetual. It becomes a habit until you're Johnny Lawrence and you've just turned the game off after every day so often that your progress is never saved. And you're literally starting over from day one every day. Johnny starts off every single day from that moment of when he lost that karate championship when he was a senior in high school. He's fucking 40 now. Where in your life are you telling your same or reliving the same story and emotion over and over again? Stop turning the video console off after every day. Just turn the TV off. Leave that shit on. Because every day you're going to play the same lesson, the same stage over and over again until you finally beat it, until you finally learn the lesson. All right? And the reason that most people never find opportunity or learn the lessons because it's disguised, it's hidden in overalls and a hammer, right? It's disguised as hard work. That's why most people never actually end up doing this. And so anyways, I just thought it was a cool thing. It's like, look, I'm not going to harp on you guys not to watch TV. I'm not going to harp on you guys to go do this and that. I'm just saying, like, look, whatever it is that you are doing in life, first off, try to be present and find some joy. But if it's losing, if what you've been doing in life right now is losing and it's just you're feeling hopeless and depressed, just know that this is for you. And I know that sounds cliche and I know it sounds like bullshit, but I'm telling you, this is happening for you. Everything is happening for you. Your creator, God, the universe, whatever it is that you think, you fucking know, and I don't mean to use like God and fucking in the same sentence, but you know dang well, you know that God never gives you a test that you can't handle. You know that God never puts more on your plate than you can eat. Never. It just does. It's not designed that way. It doesn't mean that that's easy, but it's not designed that way. It's one of the reasons, like I'm going to go hiking later today. I'm going to go on a gnarly hike. One of the reasons I fucking love hiking, like I was just up at Grinnell Glacier the other day. It was a 16-mile hike total, 3,000 foot elevation, but you hike 8 miles in. And then once you hike 8 miles in through this crazy ass terrain, the last mile is straight up. But once you get to the top of that overlook, oh my God, Gillen gang, I'm telling you, it's like unlike anything you've ever seen before. Unlike anything you've ever seen. Literally the most beautiful thing I've ever seen in my life, with my own two eyes. And the reason is because that's just like nature. Like that's how the universe is. Nature's like, I'll let you see this most beautiful thing, but you got to work for it. And I'm going to make you work hardest for it right at the end, just to see how bad you want it. Look, here's one of the pictures from me at the top of the glacier. Isn't that a cool shot, man? Isn't that a fucking cool shot? Check this one out. I'll show you one more. Look, oh yeah, dude, look at this one. Look at this. Isn't that dope? It looks like the sky's painted. It looks like the sky's painted. Isn't that sick, man? Look at this. It looks painted. Doesn't even look real. Okay? But all I'm saying is I'm in good shape. And my last half mile up I was half mile up and people were coming down with the biggest smiles on their face. And I'm just thinking, fuck you. Why are you all smiles? And every single one of them that passed me, they're like, keep going, man. You're almost there. It's so worth it. And I got up there. I got up there, I pushed through it. And when I saw it, I was awestruck. I was breathtaking. As I was going down, I saw people coming up struggling, and I would stop and I would just give them so much energy. I'm like, you're the best. You're the best. I mean, not you're the best. I go, I said, it's so worth it. It's so worth it. Sorry, I'm getting messages right now. I'm supposed to be on a call right now. And I forgot about that. So I'm going to get off here in a second. But what I'm saying is that life is much the same way. The very, very end, the end of the stage, when you fight the big boss, that's the hardest. But then you get to unlock it and go to another thing. That's why I love hiking and working out so much, because it's tangible. It's a tangible result. And when I started working out at the age of 27, I was able to apply the ideas of working out, which are just consistency and following the plan. I was like, damn, look what happened. Look what my body. And I've applied that to everything in my life now: business, making money, relationships, friendships, anything. And so when I was watching Cobra Kai, I was thinking the same thing. I'm like, wow, what a cool opportunity to let go and to release these things, these stories that we tell ourselves in the past, and then to be able to rewrite our story. You know, Johnny Lawrence in Cobra Kai, his idea of the past is that he's an asshole, that he's a loser, that he's no good, and that Cobra Kai ruined him. There's a lot of backstory that makes it very, very sad to learn why Johnny was a bully, right? Which is because he was picked on at home. And it's just very interesting. It's a very interesting thing. And so anyways, go check out Cobra Kai. But I want you guys to remember, if there's something that you're struggling with, you don't have to stay stuck. You can change the story. And it is hard. It's not supposed to be easy. But everything that you want is just waiting for you on the other side of fear. You've just got to be willing to turn that mess into your message. All right. So if you guys are into this kind of content, do me a favor. Make sure you subscribe, be a friend, tell a friend, share this video. Sharing is caring. And if you guys are like me, if you guys are influencers, speakers, business owners, entrepreneurs, if you're somebody that has a product or service to sell and you have a solution for the world, I want to help you get that solution out to more people by sharing your story powerfully, vulnerably, transparently, so you can help others who used to be like you show up and be able to have the things that they want, which is where you're at now, which is where you're continuing to evolve and grow. And so if that is you and you've been wanting to learn how to get paid to speak, how to transform the world through storytelling, I want you to click below, go to getpaidfromstage.com, getpaidfromstage.com, and I have a completely free PDF. It's how to launch your speaking career in 30 days. It's simple, it's fast, it's easy. It requires hard work, but it's how I launched my speaking career into a multi-six-figure brand, and how I've been able to, just hang out. I always say hang out. I mean, I work hard. You'd be hard-pressed to find somebody that works harder than me. But I've set my life up in time blocks where I don't ever really feel like I'm doing much, right? Because I've aligned with my gift. And so if that's you and you're looking to use your story to transform your life, create more freedom, create more wealth, and create more impact, getpaidfromstage.com. I love you guys. Let me know if you guys thought this was a good video, bad video, and I'll see you in the next one. Have a good Friday, you guys. TGIF, the grind includes Friday. And remember, I'm always here for you. Reach out to me if you need something, all right? I love you.